Hi, this will be a brief tutorial on a breath form called Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati literally means skull shining breath. And the idea is that you're pressing the breath up and it's shining the inside of your skull. It makes you feel brighter and more alert. For that reason, I recommend this as a morning breath. And to use it cautiously in the latter half of the day until you know how it affects you. This is the first of two energizing breaths that we'll cover for this section. So some contraindications for this particular breath would be A, if you're very close to sleep and need to calm down, if you're in an anxious or an anxiety state. Also, if you're menstruating, I would not recommend it. It can trigger cramping. If you're pregnant, I would be very careful and I would only do it in consultation with a teacher. If you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, I would wait. If you have active glaucoma, I would use this breath with extreme caution. So those are the times that I would hit pause before going forward with it. But if you're in a situation where you need warmth or energy or brightness or creativity, if you're having an afternoon slump after lunch, or if you for some reason are having to stay up all night, you're doing shift work or that kind of thing. If you are in the middle of a particularly attention challenging set of training, one of those all day sort of slogs, and you really need a pick me up, any of those times, or if you're very cold, I've used this during winter camping to help maintain my body heat as well. This can be a very effective breath. So the idea is that we're going to lift the pelvic floor, which is a set of 8 interlocking muscles forming the base of the Coke can. If you imagine your torso as a Coke can, the 8 interlocking muscles of the pelvic floor form its base. Now, we're going to use your low belly right under your navel as an indication of what that's doing, because they're connected. The idea is that we're lifting the base of that Coke can up to press the breath out. That's happening very forcefully and actively. It's through the nose. And then the inhale happens passively. Just when you relax the belly, the breath comes in. So you may not even hear it. We're going to start with a round of 10. I ask you to begin by placing your hands on your low belly so that you have that immediate feedback. And we begin by expanding, inhale completely. And then exhale completely from the bottom up. Inhale and experience that expansion. And then begin when you're ready. 10 breaths. Press the breath out, relax the low belly. And then invite the breath back in. So that's a short round of 10. You'll work up to rounds of 30, and you can do 3 rounds of 30 and then work up to 50. The most I've done is 5 rounds of 100. And you can do this as many times during the day as you like, as long as you're, like I said, being careful not to do it too close to your sleep time. Some things to watch out for. So the next breath that we're going to do is both an energetic inhale and exhale. In Kapalabhati, you don't want to. So both of those phases are active. For Kapalabhati, you really are. The inhale is happening, but it's very passive. The other thing is that your chest stays still. So if you imagine you're compressing your lungs from up and underneath, this does several things. It clears out the bases of the lungs. So this gets preferential compression over this, which usually receives the compression. The compression usually happens through the mid-chest rather than sort of up and under. And so different areas of the lungs are being compressed with this breath. Also, And this isn't published research, this is research that I did when I spent my nights on an ambulance that provided me with end-tidal CO2 monitoring. So I was able to actually measure how much carbon dioxide I was expelling with different kinds of breathing. And it turns out that this form of breathing preferentially expels more carbon dioxide than any other form of breathing that I was able to find. In fact, sometimes it was much as 2/3 more carbon dioxide. Now, that our carbon dioxide, we know, is a waste product of our metabolism. So getting rid of more of that is useful. So those are the two reasons that you want to pay attention. This is also a great core exercise and a core warm-up if you're doing like a really plank heavy or boat heavy yoga practice. This is a great way to warm up the deepest core muscles. So now I'm going to do a round of 30. And then this is a practice that I invite you to practice with the video maybe a couple of times, and then incorporate it into your personal practice. And then you've got this video to come back to sort of check in and mark your progress. Okay, so. Ideally, your gaze is just down and about 3 feet in front of you. You probably noticed me adjust that towards the end. You can do this rapidly as you gain comfort with it. But at the beginning, be methodical about it and stay with the breath. I would start with 3 sets of 10. When you get really comfortable with that, go to 3 of 30, and then move up from there. And leave a comment below and let me know how the breath works for you. Namaste.